Why you want to do it? It's not for the salary.
You are right. I'm not doing this for personal gain. I'm doing this because the city needs a new direction. Thanks for coming to our office here in Chinatown.
Yeah, you're the only one in Chinatown, right?
Only one. It was important to us, not only to send a signal to the Chinese and to the API community, but I've said this from day one. As Chinatown goes, so goes San Francisco, and we really need Chinatown to come roaring back if San Francisco is going to come all the way back.
There was an article yesterday on Chronicle. So it said, hey, it's safe to pick the current mayor, Lurie, risk worth taking by choosing Daniel Lurie.
Yeah. The Chronicle knows what most San Franciscans know, which is that if we want real change, if we want to turn our city around, there's only one choice in this election.
What if you didn't do a good job? Then it will be a risk, right?
I think when you talk about things that people want to ask me, it's about experience. And I have the right experience. I am not a product of the broken City Hall bureaucracy. I am not part of the corruption. But I have worked with every mayor since Gavin Newsom through to this one. I've worked with department heads. I've worked with supervisors to bring Super Bowl 50 here, to get housing built. So I know how to work with them, but I'm gonna bring people back who have left City Hall. I'm gonna bring people from around this country that want to turn around a great American city. And I have a track record of being able to recruit great people and get big things done for our city.
The whole world knows Levi's.
Yeah.
So that's how people know you, but you never work with inside the City Hall, but you work with the City Hall. Do you think it's a tough challenge for you?
This is not an easy job, and I don't like doing easy things. That's why I'm in this race. Because the challenge is worth it. We need to break the status quo. The people I'm running against have built up this system, they exploit it, and then they tell you, oh, you need to have City Hall experience to fix it. Well, they've been in office for nearly 70 years combined. Look at how that's doing for us. I was just at Pier 39. 85% of the businesses there are family owned. Third generation businesses in many cases.
A lot of Chinatown is too, second and third.
And so we're talking about permitting that takes 12 months from the time someone signs a lease to the time they can open. They have built up a bureaucracy that's killing our small businesses. So do we want more of that experience? I don't think so. I think you want somebody with my experience that understands the importance of small business and big business, that understands the importance of getting affordable housing built, bringing tourism back, bringing sporting events here. I didn't just bring Super Bowl 50 here, but we're bringing Super Bowl 60 back, 6 World Cup matches, NBA All-Star Game. I've been doing many things for our city. There's no big thinking, there's no innovation from our leaders. The bureaucracy is about how do we say no to things. We need to get those people in City Hall to think about how do we get to yes? How do we support our small businesses, for our innovators to take risk? We need to make sure we have clean streets and safe streets.
You know that most recently Westfield and then now Metron's put on sale.
I saw that.
One after one, small business, they're moving out. How can we fix that?
Safety, security, making sure that if you're coming down Union Square, you park your car, it's not going to be broken into. That if you're walking around Union Square, shoppers aren't outnumbered by people that are sleeping on the street or in the throes of addiction. So those are two really important things. I'm going to create a San Francisco Downtown Development Corporation, similar to what we had in New York City after September 11, 2001. It's a public-private partnership with business leaders, civic leaders, and people from my administration to diversify and game plan what we bring back downtown. I want to lead on climate, so I want a climate innovation hub. I want more arts and culture. I want more restaurants and nightlife. I'm going to have a dedicated police station for our hospitality zone that'll cover Moscone, Yerba Buena, and Union Square to meet the needs of our tourists and our shoppers and those that are coming for conventions. And so those are a couple of ideas on how we bring downtown back.
Talk about safety and all that. So you help a lot of homeless people that transition out of homeless, and
Yep.
6,000. How can you continue fixing that?
Yep. Okay.
And why current mayor and able to change a lot the past 6-7 months?
We've seen a reduction in
Yes.
tents, but they have no plan. They're just ripping people's tents away, and people are just going around the corner and sleeping. There's no plan. My plan is we're going to stand up 1,500 emergency shelter beds in the first 6 months. We're going to give people bus tickets home to loved ones. We're going to build more mental health and drug treatment beds. We've gotten over 40,000 people housed since 2015 at Tipping Point. We know what works. So we are going to send a message, and I will as mayor, starting on January 8th, 2025. You do not come to San Francisco to deal drugs. You don't come here to do drugs, and you don't come here to sleep on our streets.
Do you have a plan on that?
We are going to have a co-responder model. So we have trained clinicians going out dealing with somebody in crisis, not somebody with a badge and a gun. Not every interaction on our streets needs to be with somebody with a badge and a gun. So trained clinician, trained to deal with those people in the throes of addiction, having a mental health crisis episode, and pull them into a 24/7 crisis center. Then we deploy those people to step-down beds and mental health and drug treatment beds here in San Francisco and outside of San Francisco. We need to work with mayors around this region. We need to work with the governor to reopen hospitals like in Sonoma. There's a hospital there that we could have people go to. We can't do it ourselves here in San Francisco. But, for example, in a 12-month period last year, 13,000 people were put on a 5150 hold, taken from the street to one of our 8 emergency rooms. Well, 64% of those people were released right back to the street within 72 hours. So they've just gone through the most expensive part of our healthcare system. The taxpayers are paying for that, and nothing has been resolved. We're going to have care coordinators at all of those emergency rooms doing warm handoffs, making sure we're driving somebody to a treatment bed so that they don't go to the street, they go into treatment. I have a 6-point plan on how we're going to tackle this. Law enforcement and behavioral health experts have adopted my plan. They have said my plan works, and we can clean up our city. There's no question in my mind, but it's going to take a concerted effort, and I am all in on doing that. I don't want people from around the world, from Hong Kong or Shanghai, coming here and saying, I want to look at the homeless. I want them saying, I want to go to Chinatown. I want to go to Judah and Irving and shop, and I want to go to Golden Gate Park and Fisherman's Wharf, and I want to go to Union Square again.
It's a beautiful city.
It's the greatest city. It is absolutely.
But that will take a lot of money to do that, you think?
The resources are not our problem. It's how we spend the dollars that is the problem. $15.9 billion budget for 800,000 people. We have the money. And the one thing I want your viewers to know is that $15.9 billion, that's their money. That's the taxpayers' money. That's the residents of San Francisco, and I'm going to treat it as such. I'm going to make sure that we spend your dollars wisely. Right now, we have no accountability built into our contracts with outside contractors, with nonprofits. We don't know who's doing what. The departments are able to do whatever they want. There's going to be a level of accountability these department heads have not seen for quite some time. We're going to start working together, communicating, making sure that we are getting results when we pay for service. And if we're not getting it from contractors or nonprofits, we'll cut them, just like I did at Tipping Point, and redirect resources to high-performing organizations. We hire more police officers. Right now, you ask about public safety, there's so much being spent on overtime. For 1,500 or less officers, we should be at 2,000. We cut back on overtime, we hire more police. Our police are well rested. There's better morale. They're able to walk the beat and protect our small businesses instead of being homeless outreach workers and drug counselors, which they're often asked to do. I don't want them doing that. I want them protecting our commercial corridors, protecting our elders. There will be no tolerance for hate in our city.
What's your leadership style? How are you different from the top 3 candidate?
I'm the only one that's actually run an organization. The others have run small supervisor offices or a tiny business, 3 people, 4 people maybe. You know, I had a major organization that I ran for 15 years as CEO. The mayor has the other executive experience. I would argue that my experience is stronger and I've led a more successful entity. I hire the best. And I make sure that we give them the tools necessary to do their job. But there's going to be accountability. There's going to be weekly department head meetings. I'm going to understand what they are doing that week, what they are doing 6 months and 12 months out. We're going to have goals. They're going to tell me what they need to get the job done. But then I'm going to be out on the street like Dianne Feinstein used to be. Willie Brown still is, walking the street, making sure that things are getting done that have been told to me that they will get done. And these department heads and everybody working in my administration is going to be oriented towards accountability and making sure that they are serving the people, serving the taxpayers. Once again, this is not the department head's money, it's not my money, it's your viewers' money. They're paying the taxes. And I'm going to protect it, I'm going to oversee it, I'm going to hire great people who are currently inside the building, who have left but would like to come back under strong leadership. And there's people around this country that want to come turn around a great American city, and I'm going to welcome all of them, and we are going to once again be the greatest city in the world.
Why you want to do it? It's not for the salary.
You are right. I am not doing this because it's easy. I'm not doing this, once again, for personal gain. I'm doing this because the city needs a new direction. And we need to break free from these City Hall insiders that have broken City Hall. It's broken in there. There's a lot of good people, but they want to be led. We have to all work together. It cannot be finger pointing and divisiveness. It's got to be collaboration and cooperation and communication, and we have to serve with humility.
That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
good
coming
luck.
to see us here in Chinatown.
Yes.